Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Jaywalk's Tech Talk / product review. Been a minute since we did one of these, but on the last couple, the feedback has been really good, and it's awesome to kind of see how much some of this information is helping some of you guys out. So on top of just giving you guys tips on how to set up your bikes, I figured I would use my resources to get some parts that maybe you guys don't want to go out there and spend your money on before you actually see what they're all about. And so I'm gonna try and mix in some of these product review videos on top of just the, how to set up your suspension and stuff like that. And it also doubles up as me kind of figuring out the right setup that I want to run for the next year. And in order for me to get as many parts as possible, I'm super stoked to announce that my longtime sponsors, MX Locker, is now partnering up with me on this series of videos. They're going to be able to provide me with way more parts than I'd be able to purchase myself, and that means more testing and more videos for you guys. In return, some of these videos are going to be uploaded on their YouTube channel, so if you want to catch every tech episode, make sure you head over there, subscribe to their channel. They actually have a bunch of content already uploaded for you guys to check out in the meantime, but yeah, you can expect to see some Jaywalk tech videos over there as well. So big shouts to MX Locker. Now to kick things off, as the title would suggest, we're gonna be taking a look at some tires in this video. Much like probably a lot of you guys watching this video, I have strictly used Dunlops for my entire career ever since I was on, PW50s all the way up through Loretta's and all through my pro racing. Dunlop makes great tires. It is definitely the most popular tire on the market, at least for the past 2 decades. But if you were around in the 90s and early 2000s, you may recall that Bridgestone was actually the tire powerhouse in the motocross industry. They were the choice amongst factory pros and amongst consumers. They were definitely top dog for a long time. For whatever reason, decided to kind of pull back out of the power sports world, and that kind of started the reign of Dunlop here in the States and Pirelli over in Europe. And it just so happens that Bridgestone is making an effort to get back in the motocross space. Very exciting. They've got a new range of tires, the Bridgestone Battlecross X31. That's kind of like their standard knobby, which would compare to the Dunlop Geomax MX34. And then they also have their sand lineup, the Battlecross X10. And I happen to have both of those tires with me right now. So we got the X31. As you can see, this is the knobby boy. Nice and beefy. I mean, sitting here in the shop, it looks like a super nice tire. The compound is nice and soft. Feels very similar to the MX34. So this is kind of the, all-terrain. We'll use that on the harder pack and a little bit loamy tracks. And then the tire I'm super excited to try out, their X10. Kind of like a paddle sand tire, but honestly, I'd call it more like an intermediate sand tire because you can see it's got some scoopage, but I think this is gonna be a super versatile tire because although it is definitely a scoop tire, it kind of has some good surface area on top of the scoops. It has these nice chunky knobs over on the side to maintain that side grip that a lot of true sand tires are lacking. You're seeing it a lot in the pro field right now. Guys are having to make a decision of whether they want to stick on the sand tire or move over to the knobby tire. And currently only the really hardcore guys like Tomac or Deegan are opting to stay on the MX14 because that thing is a super true sand tire. But that's why I'm super excited to try out the Battlecross X10 because I think this is going to fill that gap, and I'm going to be able to use this tire at tracks like Redbud, Millville, Unadilla, maybe even Thunder Valley. Some of those loamier, rutted tracks, I think this tire is going to be absolutely amazing. And then on the flip side, of course, I'm excited to see if that gives up any performance on a true sand track like Southwick. But today we're going to be focusing on the X31 and how it compares to the MX34 from Dunlop because this is a tire that most of you guys are probably interested in. And you guys know my style. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time here in the shop. So of course we're gonna get this thing mounted, as well as the X31 front tire. We're gonna head out to one of the best practice tracks here in Michigan called Martin MX. It's nice and loamy, definitely not sand, but definitely not hard packed. We are gonna do some back-to-back comparisons with a full set of front and rear MX34s, and then with the Bridgestone X31s. And if I like what I'm feeling, who knows, we might be on the Bridgestone train all next year. So let's get these bad boys mounted up and let's head to Martin MX and test these bad boys out. It's rolling? Yep. Ja, okay. Going with the Bridgestone. Made sure to go with the same tooth sprocket so nobody can say anything about that. Yup. Water in or something.
Looks like it.
Perfect test for the tires. Unfortunately, the DJI battery died, but as soon as I got back, I was telling these guys, like, I don't know if it's a placebo just because I know they're different tires and they're brand new, but it felt like the thing is hooking up insane. So I'm super excited to try this at a bunch of other tracks. Obviously, traction here is already pretty good as it is. The dirt's like perfect, but there are some like long slimy-ish sweepers where the traction isn't very good, and like the front end is sticking in them really good. They even watered the track too. That was the biggest thing, is I thought I was a little cautious on the first lap. There were a couple corners that I came out of and I felt like I had a lot of traction. So just for fun, the next couple laps, I tried to square up some of the turns on the flat stuff and get on the gas super hard. And I didn't lose traction one time. So I'm not gonna make a definitive statement yet, but certainly not worse than the Dunlops. And if we're going just off of a first impressions feel, maybe a little bit better. But obviously the Dunlop did have one moto on it, so slightly worn in. So I am gonna keep trying the Bridgestones here. I'm gonna try them out on a bunch of different tracks, but so far so good. It's not like I went out for the first session and I was deathly afraid or anything. If anything, major confidence. So feeling really good about it. I was kind of skeptical. Never tried anything except for Dunlop, and it seems like pretty much everyone runs Dunlop. you figure there must be a reason why, but honestly, I think people are just afraid to try something different. So super excited to try these at some other tracks. Really excited to try the X10 sand tire. It's mostly sandy around where I live, and I've run the Dunlop MX14 for the last like 2 or 3 years, so I really know how that feels, and I'm a bit of a sand specialist, so very excited to try the X10 sand tire from Bridgestone and keep trying these at a bunch of different tracks. So yeah, first impressions, very, very good.